In today's session, we are discussing what is the difference between culpable homicide and murder. Now, let us start the basic difference between the two. Actually, before going to do this, we have to come to and discussion what is culpable homicide and what is murder. So, first, we come to a discussion that in case of culpable homicide, that is discussed in under section 299 of criminal of Indian Penal Code. So, and the murder is discussed in section 300. So that is, I think, that is a mainly sectional difference. Now I want to give you certain things. What sections 299 of Indian Penal Code says. Section 299 of Indian Penal Code define culpable homicide as whosoever cause death by doing an act with an intention to cause death or with an intention of causing such bodily injury as it is likely to cause death or with the knowledge that he is likely by such act to cause death commit an offense of culpable homicide. So now if we break this section, we may come that whoever caused death, death means death of a human body, it does not including the death of unborn child, but it may amount to culpable homicide to cause death of a living child if any part of such child has been brought forth. However, it is not necessary that a person whose death has been caused much must be a very person whose death was intended. By doing an act, death may be caused in number of ways, such as by poisoning, starving, striking, drowning, or communicating some shocking news. Act hereby includes illegal omission, and an omission is illegally to be an offense and is some direction is the breach of law. Number one, that is intention to cause death. Intention means the expectation of the consequence in question when a man is charged with doing an act of which a probable consequence may be highly injurious. The intention is interfered for the act of the accused and the circumstances of the cases. Second, with an intention of causing such bodily injury as is likely to cause death. The intention of the offender may not be to causing death. It would be sufficient if he intend to cause bodily injury which is likely to cause death. So here there is a difference. There is a Clear difference. I will come to a rather part, then I will discuss it in more specific in these sessions. With the third one, with the knowledge that he is likely by such an act to cause death, knowledge is strong words and imports certainly and not merely probability. Here the knowledge refer to personal knowledge of a person who does the act. Now, murder. Now we are going to discuss the murder. Section 300 of the code defines murder. Except in case of culpable homicide, except in the case culpable homicide is a murder if first any if the act by which the death is caused is done with an intention of causing death. Second, if it is done with an intention of causing such bodily injury as the offender knows likely to cause death of the person to whom the harm is caused. If it is done with an intention of causing such bodily injury to any person and the bodily injury intended to be inflicted is sufficient in the ordinary course of nature of causing death. If the person committing the act knowing that it is so immediately dangerous that it may cause in all probability cause death or such bodily injury as likely to cause death and commit such act without an excuse for incurring the risk of causing death and such bodily harm. So, ingredients of murder. What are the ingredients of murder? Act, first ingredients. Act by which the death is done with an intention to cause death. This is the first ingredient. Second ingredient, with an intention of causing such bodily injury as the offender knows to be likely to cause death. Third, with the intention of causing bodily injury to any person. Fourth, person committing the act known that it is so eminently dangerous that it must in all probability cause death or such bodily injury is likely to cause death. Now we are going to the main portion of this session. What are the difference? What are the difference? Now the first difference between the culpable homicide and the murder. Culpable homicide is wider than the term murder. Culpable homicide is therefore considered as a genus, while the murder is regarded as a species. From this concept, we may say that all the murders are culpable homicide, but all the culpable homicide are not regarded as a murder. Second, murder is aggravated form of culpable homicide. Third one, in murder, the offender has a definite knowledge that the act would result in death, while as in culpable homicide, that the knowledge is not so definite. The probability of causing death is higher in murderer than culpable homicide. The probability of causing death is higher in murder than culpable homicide. So now you know very well that these are the basic main difference. Now you may say the other difference from the side of the section, from the side of the punishment. So the main difference from the culpable homicide and the murder is that the murder is a aggravated form of culpable homicide, and the knowledge. If there is a definite knowledge of death, then it is a murder. If the knowledge is not so definite, then it's a culpable homicide. Very typical difference, but this typical difference is very important in the eye of Indian penal code. So I think from this point of view, this is the basic difference between culpable homicide and murder. Again, telling you through this video that if you want this type of video for the betterment of our young students, for the betterment of the advocates, for the betterment of the knowledge of ours, you may subscribe this channel. And I think that it will be better for you. So for this session, this is a complete session. Now we have to complete our session today. Thank you.